Alright, back again. Use some more of the 88. As you can see, let me move my finger out of the way. It's a little dusty in here because this is a little tiny garage. You can see a bunch of these parts are all stored up here. Fenders, ground effects. In that box we got a giant size oil cooler. Another one. Got two of them. So, anyways, there's some front grills and front fascias up there. There's my cool stereo system for my garage. And many other various parts that are lying around here doing nothing as we speak. Anyways, back to the real scoop. This is the inside of the 88. This is with her hood off. We're still not done doing all the other little necessities that need to be done. I need to pick up front mount. I'll show you that right now as we go to the front of the vehicle. I'll turn some light in this direction. But what we need down here, move some of these wires out of the way. Wires and coolant lines. Yeah, it is a mess in here. I keep it like my house. As you can see, this is a stock mount from a minivan. It actually fits up to the vehicle itself. A little bit of minor modification is necessary. If I can grab the mount real quick, it's on the 4-cylinder somewhere. Find her. There we go. As you can see, this is the regular mount here that actually goes up. It bolts up to the front cross member, front frame, if you will. This has to be modified in order to fit in the inside of the K-Aries engine bay. The ticket is, I can zoom down this way. As you can see, it almost lines up, but it just doesn't. So that's an issue, but whatever, that can be fixed, modified. All depends on how much you want it. So, anyways, this hole here can be bolted up to this hole here. When the engine sits correctly in place, these will line up, and a bolt can be run through. To which this rubber piece, old school style, you could use a newer one if I'm not mistaken. Shoot, this one is off of a. Let me think. This is not a 96. This is the. This is an 89 3.0 mount for the front. As you can see, the old style mount here. So, but anyways, that lines up in between and will sit in place. I can do a little bit more zooming in here. Let's show you some more cool beezy stuff. Master cylinder is the same. Lines up to where your throttle body is. I don't know if I got to zoom in on it before, but we'll try it this time, see if you can see it in there. There you go. If you can't tell, that says Holley throttle body on it. Now this is just a stock throttle body that's on there. If I'm not mistaken, they said that they were 52 millimeters. I have one that's actually larger. Let me zoom back out, and I'll take this around the side of the car. If you're wondering about the crappy pictures, it's actually taken from my wonderful camera phone. So bear with me on the nitty-gritty details. But the other throttle body that I had sitting around here, right here, is from a Jeep. Now this still has to be cleaned in order to be used in the first place, obviously. But hold on. You can see a little bit of wear and tear in there. But hold on. Can't get her to fucking move. She still does open. And it still swings closed pretty good. So this is a little bit larger than the other one, so it gives me a little bit better airflow. At first I was unsure on how this is going to work out, but as we progress through this build I can give you a little bit more information. So there have been a couple of setbacks on this build. As you can see, I had a couple of fuckhead friends, and we won't admit that from the record, but I had a couple of fuckhead friends that didn't want to give a hand, or I should say stole some parts, if you will. So they even took my brand new torque converter, or my torque throttle body as I call it, but they took my wonderful torque converter that you see here from a 94 or 95 Intrepid. The funny part about it is my buddy asked me to use or asked me if he could borrow this piece itself for his other vehicle he was working for in the shop, and ended up taking mine, so I had to go back out and refetch it. I'm sorry, I had to go back out and buy another one in order to use that one. That's what's currently installed in the car right now. So another little cool, stupid thing, I guess you could say, is the wonderful K Turbo. This is how it's going to appear on the car. There will be no Turbo K. There's only the K Turbo. So I take that and put that on the front fenders, if you will. Another little nifty tidbit that's got to get done in here. Oh shit, the engine crane fucking flies out of the damn place. Got a throttle cable and then a couple other vacuum lines I got to hook up to. And don't forget the old Performance Technique giant ass amp that's going to be slapped into this son of a beezy, if you will. The old radiator can be used, but it's necessary. It's actually bigger than the one that comes on the 3.0s. The 3.0 one has a dual core, but it's actually really tiny. It's about half the size of the regular radiator. It's necessary. Now, I don't plan on using many of the parts from the 3.0 or the 3.3 from this, with the exception of obviously whatever is necessary to get the vehicle itself to run. So, front fascia's off, as it has to be. There's no other cutting it sideways. What else is there? Get around here, you can see how much space I don't have to work on in this vehicle. But yeah, there's some more wonderful coolies. Obviously, I upgraded from the 15-inch wonderful hubcaps to the Bugunga S18s with the giant rusty rotors, but whatever, you know, that's all gets to be replaced. I don't know if you can see the clearance on this, but hold on, let me see if I can zoom in there. That's about how much clearance you get. That's about how much clearance you've got with the 18. Now, technically, that does look like it rubs, but that's because the bearing itself is bad. So there's going to be a little bit rubbing issue until that bearing gets replaced. But other than that, it does fit up. Don't be fooled. So sometimes you have to put a little bit of positive camber, but it's really not the issue, if you will. Geek past here. I know you remember that tire from some of the pictures in there. My cool ass shoes and my vagina. But yeah, that's what we did with that brake job last time. As you can see, she's a little rusty, but where it counts, which are the rotors and the brake pads, it's all put together pretty good. A little overspray, if you will. As you can see, that's the clearance that I have all the way across. There's about 2 fingers worth of space between here and there. Live long and prosper, bitches. But there's about 2 fingers worth of space between that and the outside of the actual wheel well, so that clears. This is how close. As you can see that the frame is painted down here. It's all nice and dandy. But this is how close to that 18 clears. Another 2 fingers here. And if you go towards the back, you got about 3 fingers worth of space between where that goes in together. So, all in all, it's not so bad. But there's a bunch more ish that's got to get done. There's the old cool hood that you saw beforehand. We'll have to put that back on the car to give you a full perspective of what it looks like when she's all together. So, till next time, people.